Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video.
If you can see it here and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. Truly believe in it. If you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
So we are currently, I think, 3 or 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, I don't even know. Let me quickly pull up it's November 8th, so the race is exactly 5 weeks out this week from 70.3 Worlds, which is exciting. So I'll be heading out to New Zealand, I think the week before the race, I think between December 1st and December 8th. So it's less than a week till I fly to New Zealand for 70.3 Worlds, which, yeah, seems like it's definitely soon. It feels soon. And for those of you guys who don't know, I've kind of had a busy last month and a bit. I made that aero testing video that you guys watched, me going over my results from that. But I was out at Ironman California supporting a few athletes I had racing, which was super fun. I'll pop some pictures up on the screen of that experience. And then what else did I do? Last weekend, I was out at Vancouver because I was pacing a good friend of mine. He ran his first marathon, so I kind of promised him. It was a little bit of a thing a few months ago over some beers. I told him if he signed up for a marathon, I would do it with him. So I held myself to my word, went out there, did the marathon with him, which was just a quick 2-3 day trip, which was all right. Pop some videos up on the screen of that. But now it's kind of 4 weeks till New Zealand. Everything's pretty not a whole lot going on. I'm not really traveling anymore. I'm just at home, just working and doing and training. So I thought I'd just take you guys just to kind of give you guys I don't know. I'm just taking you guys through a couple days in the life or a day in the life. I don't know what this video will turn into. Right now I'm currently just driving to the pool to swim. I was kind of just figuring out booking my flights and stuff for New Zealand this morning, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So it's 11:30 in the morning, and I also had a couple calls with athletes and stuff like that. Did some swimming in a new pool because I drove out to my parents' place last night just to kind of see them. Gonna try to see them as much as I can before I'm gone for a while out in New Zealand and stuff like that. Look at that view. If you guys can see that, this is why I love it out here, because those are the mountains in the distance. And this is where I grew up, so it's obviously all farmland and stuff like that around here. But in the distance, you can see the mountains, which is super freaking cool.
In a long lost dream, it's where I'll find you. With the wind blowing through your hair, brings me to my knees. In a long lost dream, where I'll find you. Oh, the look in your eyes makes me feel alive again. Begging, please, come with me. Begging, please.
Alright, so just wrapped up my swim. I couldn't get any footage of it just because this is a new pool. I've never swam here, and it had a thing saying no recording, no filming, so I didn't even bother. But I'll pop the setup on the screen. Yeah, not much to say about it. It's just another deposit, whatever you want to call it. Swimming is definitely hard for me. It's not something that comes natural, so I really have to focus in on it, be consistent with it, not skip swim sessions. And it's definitely out of running and bike, I enjoy running and cycling, but to get to the pool and just to start is always I'm not always motivated to go to the pool, so that's definitely the one thing that I have to force myself to. But if there's one thing that's for sure, I always feel compared to riding my bike or running, after I do a swim set, no, like it always feels so good when I do it. So. About to go outside for this 90 minutes easy run where basically apologies, it's freaking cold outside here. I'm sure you guys can see my mom in the background there cleaning the windows. Yeah, it's cold outside, that's why I'm wearing this. I know it looks retarded and you guys probably can't take me seriously, but no, so basically right now, I'm doing, because I obviously got that testing done that I showed you guys in the last video. Went out to Kelowna, I got like hooked up to a VO2 master, had like Moxie sensors on me, all that jazz. And my conclusion from the results was that I need to work a lot on my kind of like low end zone 2, zone 1, just because it's kind of underdeveloped. A little bit, just because I've been doing a lot of like mid zone 2 intensity kind of heart rate between like 130, 150, 140 beats per minute. So the focus is, especially until I do New Zealand, the full Ironman, or get into that prep, is to do a lot of that training. That's so funny. You can literally see my mom in the background. I look like just such a tool. My family roasts me. God, that's funny. Yeah, even for this run, I'm gonna go out, just try to keep heart rate under 130 beats per minute. So like the goal is to go out at a pace where my heart rate is consistent throughout and I don't get much cardiac drift near the end. And for any of you guys who are wondering, that's a really good tip. Again, I apologize that I'm wearing this right now. But if you're doing a zone 2 workout or zone 1 workout, obviously the purpose of it is it should be a pace you can sustain all day. And don't get me wrong, a little bit of cardiac drift, so when your heart rate slowly starts to increase, even if you're doing the same pace or power, that is okay if it's like a 3-4 hour ride. But if you're going out for an hour, 120 minutes, even 2 hours, and your heart rate starts to drift after about 90 minutes or an hour or 45 minutes, then the pace is too high. That's a big thing that I like to try to explain to people is like, yes, looking at your average heart rate is insightful, but instead you should look at, okay, over the course of this 90-minute run that was supposed to be entirely zone 2, look at the time actually spent in zone. Don't just look at your average, look at the time you spent in zone, because that's what's important. That's where you're actually nailing the system that you're trying to train. Oh my God, I cannot take myself seriously. But yeah, let's go out for this 90-minute run. I'll talk to you guys out there. Running with the dog. Nice views. Let's get it. It is. Emmett, say what's up to the YouTube. Miles in, less than 10 minutes to go. Let's go. And my sister, say what's up to the YouTube. What are you doing?
Just getting home.
You brought the bike? Run done. Average pace was 10:42. Pretty slow. The time on feet more than anything. 9.06 miles, hour and 36 minutes of running, which the big reason why I'm running so slow is because I ran 30 miles last Sunday because I ran a marathon in Vancouver, like I was telling you guys earlier. So I was just being careful, being cautious. That's why I'm keeping running. Yeah, super easy this week. There was a fair amount of elevation gain, about 400 feet ascent, just because it's really like rolling hills out here. I'm trying to figure out what the average heart rate was to show you guys. Average heart rate, 131. Bit higher than I wanted it to, but I could definitely tell like I'm a bit dehydrated. So heart rate was like a bit elevated. But yeah, I am now. Oh.
On the road, I've been away for far too long, but now I'm on my way back home. I hear the west winds calling out my name. They're telling me to head your way, down your road and past your gates. Keep your eyes on the horizon. I was looking to belong when I'd already found my home.
Setting up the trainers for this 2 hour zone 2 aerobic bike ride.
Won't be long, I'm there before the setting sun, for you to fall into my arms.
A lot of questions from you guys about my trainer itself. So for those of you guys who've not seen these before, I bought this on Amazon. It's the feedback Omnium trainer, just because like I'm always like traveling and stuff. So this is like 10 pounds and it packs up, and I ride majority outdoors. But when I'm obviously full winter mode, I have like my own Garmin, whatever trainer. But yeah, we're going to be doing 2 hours, zone 2, easy. Sister, since she's now on the triathlon grind, just got a Wahoo kicker. All right, so a little update. 40 minutes in, average heart rate's 124. Average power is 156. Sam, how you feeling? Logging the time, watching Outer Banks. All right, YouTube. We're an hour and 47 minutes in of this 2 hour ride. Sam, how are we feeling halfway?
Halfway?
Yeah, we're doing 4 hours. No, I'm just kidding. 10 minutes left, then we're done. Right, so that wraps up the bike ride. 157 average watts, obviously not high. But like I was saying before, like the big thing that I'm working on now is just like really trying to build up like my structural fitness, like my underlying aerobic conditioning. Because what that does is like if I can raise, if you can imagine my fitness as like a diagonal line like this, obviously like like my elbow down here being like the base of it, like the higher the base is, even if my power curve is going to be relatively flat for the next couple months doing a lot of zone 2 work, the more I can raise up that baseline when I go to actually peak for a race that I want to do, or go through like the race prep phase, sharpening phase, whatever you want to call it, when that elbow's raised up and that baseline keeps getting higher and higher and higher, when I go to peak for the race and bring up that top end fitness, do threshold work, race pace work, all that stuff, I'll be far better off going into it. And I mean, just being new to endurance sport in general, I mean, it just takes time. It takes consistency, training. You're like doing low heart rate training. It's not that exciting. Although I didn't talk about it during the bike ride, but one thing I do is I hold a cadence of like 65 to 68 kind of RPMs within that range. And then, yeah, I'm just keeping heart rate between 120, 125 beats per minute. Literally 2 weeks ago when I was doing this, my watts were like 130 average over like 2 hours. And like even today, it's like I'm almost into the 160s. So like I can definitely feel my legs getting stronger. And it's like it feels easy. Like you feel like you can do it all day. And I mean, that's kind of the purpose. Like you're training that like that baseline, like I said, because you're like, honestly, like the biggest thing that, and the way I've been kind of explaining it to my athletes, and the reason why you do zone 2 work, especially in like the off season. I mean, I know I'm talking about the off season, and I have worlds coming up in like less than, I mean, yeah, less than almost a month away, or almost, yeah, 4.5 weeks. So, but like I was telling you guys earlier in the video, I don't know if I said it earlier, but for worlds, I'm honestly just going there. I want to do my best, see what happens. But like my main focus is Ironman New Zealand, my first full distance back since I did Lake Placid last year. So obviously having so much more fitness now and just being so much more confident, I'm really excited to really see how well I can do at that race. I mean, the full distance races definitely excites me more than the half does. I'm more excited for 70.3 Worlds for the experience to go. It's like a world championship, which is kind of dope. There'll be pros there, which is kind of sick. But yeah, no. What was I saying? The biggest thing that I try to explain to everybody is like, okay, if you can imagine yourself as a blade, or let's say when you first get into endurance sport, you're a butter knife. And what tends to happen is you can sharpen your butter knife, which maybe that comes from like doing threshold work, VO2 max work, whatever it might be, where you're simply just like bringing up that top end, bringing up, when you think of your fitness on a curve, you're just bringing up that. And that type of fitness comes and goes very fast, because it's like you train it, but if you're not training it, it's going to become slightly detrained. You're going to lose just a little bit of that top end. And that's why people say zone 2 is so important, because when you raise up that baseline, or when you take your butter knife and you take it back to the forge, or whatever you want to call it, you turn that butter knife into a steak knife. When you go to sharpen the blade, you have more metal to work with. So your threshold's going to be higher, your like ceiling's going to be higher. Overall, you're just going to be a faster racer. So like, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just yapping, but that's going to be it for today. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the camera tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where this video takes us. All right, so I'm just on my way back to obviously where I live, my apartment. I was just at my parents' house for a couple days, and yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, but I got a lot of my work done this morning, so I do have to find time to squeeze in. I think I'm gonna go pretty much straight to the pool and just get that done with. I got about an hour swim, 3K. I'm not sure what the swim set is. I'll have to look at my Training Peaks and see what's in there. But then I also need to go out for a run, which I'll probably do second just because of daylight, because I don't want to have to run on the treadmill. And then it'll be another nighttime Zwift, which has kind of been like a theme this week just because of time. I've been like starting my 2-hour kind of aerobic rides around like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, so I'm not finishing till 8-9 p.m. and it's all right. I mean, obviously that's not ideal, but like for me, it's just like that's like the only time I can actually like squeeze them in. But yeah, no, like I was saying before, like right now, my biggest focus is just like, I'm taking a very like polarized approach. So it's like when I do high intensity, it's high intensity. Not so much on the bike. I mean, obviously like I'm doing a little bit of VO2 max as like maintenance. It's more or less on the run. Like I'm doing like, obviously I didn't do any track sessions this week, just recovering from the marathon last weekend. But like moving forward in a Worlds, it's like 2 track sessions a week, one kind of like more more higher end speed work, like 5K pace and above, so like 400s, 200s, and then the other session being more like 1K reps, so like 6 by K, 10 by K, 8 by K, kind of all just like slightly above 10K pace, which for me is like around 610 to 620. And it's important you don't overdo those types of sessions as well. Like, I mean, it's very easy to overrun. All right, so that is the swim done. Main set was 8 200s, basically just leaving on 2 minutes. So nice and chill. Pace was pretty slow overall. This was kind of just like a steady aerobic swim, and I'm like really trying to focus on technique, because like my goal for the Ironman coming up in March is to do sub 65 minutes. So that's basically like, I mean, I swam 31 minutes in my last 70.3, so like I know I can swim like sub 65, but I just want it to be like super easy from an RPE standpoint, just because I know how important like energy conservation, is that the right word? Conservation? I think so. Yeah. How important it is to like save energy in an Ironman. So like that's the goal for Ironman New Zealand, is a sub 65 minute swim. It's 3:56 p.m. So we got some ground to make up to get in this hour run. All right. So done the run, and I'm just on this soccer field by my apartment doing 5 times 15-second strides, so kind of like sprints almost, like, but not all out, like 90-80%, just for like technique. So I'll wrap this up and then I'll see you guys back at the apartment. All right, so that's the run done. I'll pop or I'll show you guys the stats, because that's usually easier than me trying to pop it up on the screen. So it was just an hour, keeping heart rate like 125 to like 132 beats per minute. That's kind of like my zone 1, low zone 2. Miles was the total distance. Total time was 1 hour and 4 minutes. Average pace was 9:57 minute per mile. 331 feet elevation gain. And yeah, so just ran super steady, super easy. And then did about 4 sets of 15-second strides, just to like work on turnover, because this week was all about just like getting back into running, because I did run a marathon, which I actually ended up running 30 miles just to be funny, which was honestly kind of stupid in the middle of this World's training block, but it is what it is. So next week we'll be back to our 2 track sessions a week, which I'm gonna show you guys that, because like I'm slow as fuck when it comes to running. So I'm trying to work on my leg speed, work on my kind of top end, because the goal, it won't happen at Worlds, being realistic here, but like next spring, I mean, I want to be a sub 125 runner and a 70.3, and I know I just need to get like get that top end, get that 10K pace and 5K pace pushed up as high as I can. All right, an hour and a half in. Yeah, main focus of this ride is just going to keep heart rate between 120, 130 beats per minute max. So around 158, 160 watts has been the average. I'll talk to you guys about it after, because I'm kind of just like dead. Don't want to be doing this right now, but we're gonna get it done. and then I got a couple hours of work that I need to get done before I go to bed. I mean, it seems later than it is. It's only 8:30 p.m. Alright guys, so that wraps up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just, yeah, a couple basic days in the life of training. Nothing really that exciting. I mean, my biggest thing, like I was telling you guys earlier, like going into 70.3 Worlds is just like putting together some really good consistent training weeks to feel confident going into it. I mean, I know like my main focus now is Ironman New Zealand and building towards that, like long term. But I mean, in the short term, I'm still like doing everything I can. I mean, I know I have fitness, and like obviously I'm training a lot. I'm doing like a decent amount of volume, like 20 hours per week. Yeah, I was gonna film tomorrow, but I figured I'd wrap this video up here. I think it might be long enough. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know these like training vlogs, days in the life, like I try to make them as exciting as I can. And even when I'm like talking to the camera, filming them, like I never really know. I'm like, God, this must be so boring. Who's gonna watch this shit? But no, appreciate all you guys who sit through, watch these videos. And yeah, we're less than a month out, or almost a month out. So the grind is in full tilt. Follow me on Strava if you guys want to keep up with all the training. You guys shoot me a message on Instagram if you watch these videos. I always respond. But yeah, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. But until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.